MITच्या ग्रुपवरती वेबएक्सची लिंक टाकली आहे, त्याच्यावरती जॉईन व्हा, प्लेसमेंटची बुकिंग तिकडे आहे, कारण त्यांनी मेल पाठवलेला एवढाच आपल्याला ह्या सगळ्या.
Also, I mean, just because I'm a therapist, do not be scared that, okay, if I use these terms, I'll be, I'll be called a noob or anything. No, I mean, first of all, the awareness about mental health and therapy is so less here with us. And anyone who is just even curious, that's a bonus. That's you already got brownie points for that. So don't worry about what you're going to say. And I'm an ABT practitioner, so there's absolutely no judgment. So please go ahead.
I think it's a human physical and emotional state of mind or life. That is psychology.
Right. Right. So there is a connection between our brain, between our mind, our emotions, and therefore our body as well. And that is exactly what ABT is about. I mean, in psychology, so when I'm a clinical psychologist, or when I'm just a psychology, just a counselor, okay, I kind of look at everything from a box. Okay, this is a diagnosis. These are the symptoms. These are the emotions. They are positive, negative. Okay, let's work on it. Let's do something about it. And then I use my different therapies that I've been taught. But in ABT, what we believe is that our body and our mind have the ability to heal themselves completely. And as practitioners or as ABT therapists, the only thing that we do is we hold their hand and we kind of facilitate that change. We facilitate that progress inside them or within them. So that entire journey of healing is what we hold their hand in. We never use the word help. Okay, I am helping this client, or I'm helping this patient. Okay, also, there's no patient in ABT, there's always a client. Okay, so, and in mental health also, I always tell everyone that do not use the word patient, even if, so there is, if you all must have heard of a disorder like schizophrenia. So it is never, okay, he's schizophrenic, he's a patient, he has a mental disorder. ऐसा नहीं होता. It is just, okay, he's a client, he's come to us, he has some concerns, he has some emotional, behavioral issues, and we are here to hold his hand and get him out, get him through it, maybe, basically. Okay, so that is what ABT believes in, that we do not need we need to create an internal motivation, we need to have a change within us. Only then that change will show in our behavior, and that is what we do through the use of different media. So now psychology, ABT, and art, let's try and connect it a little together. So personal expression. So for art, basically, all of y'all must have a different definition of art for each one of you from different schools of art. I don't know. Like I have a different definition of psychology because I'm from a different school of psychology. I follow a different school. It is basically personal expression, right? It is, so whenever you create an art, or whenever you create something, it comes through whatever you've experienced. That we can actually see that if you really stop, think, and then I mean, then kind of after introspection, if you put it on paper or put it through whatever form, whatever expression, then it is the real expression, right? So it is, whenever you see an art, you can kind of get an idea of what traumas, what baggages, what beautiful things that that person has seen, what life experiences that person has been through. And that is how your personal expression turns into art. Now there is a commercial application also, right? I mean, most of y'all are going to use it for commercial purposes, so y'all have to use the personal expression and also fulfill the client's demands and needs for whatever they are asking you to do, right? And that is when there is a certain conflict. Okay, because every person has a different style, every person has a different way of expressing themselves, and when the needs and demands are completely different, you're in a conflict, you're in a dilemma. What do I do exactly? How much of myself do I put in, and how much of the client's needs do I put in? And if I am doing that, am I kind of um, Am I creating a hazard for myself? Am I sabotaging my own art? So that is a conflict that a lot of people face, and this I think must be really really true for artists as well. Also, when we use art to overcome limitations, so we everyone has cognitive limitations. So as a psychotherapist, I was a psychotherapist before I became an arts based therapist. I used to just practice general psychology. If you all must have heard about therapies, like there is a CBT, there's a REBT, there's an EMDR, there are different kinds of therapies. So when you go to a clinic and when you go for practice and then do the therapy, so I used to be that. Once I started doing ABT, I realized that words have a lot of limitations. Basically, language has limitations, right? And when you talk to a person, there are going to be so many limitations. And that is why the use of art is so important, because we are able to overcome all these cognitive limitations. And that is why I feel ABT is so important. I mean, of course, I don't think, I mean, I would be happy if any one of you all take ABT sessions ever. But even if you all don't, the philosophy of ABT, or the teachings of ABT, or the techniques of ABT are helpful in the same thing, that we overcome our cognitive limitations. Because we are always so bogged down by our cognitive thinking ki, okay, this is planning, this is organization, no, this should be like this should be like that. And to overcome that, we need to use a form that is very very subjective, and what more a subjective form than art. And that is why art is so important, and that is why ABT per se is so impactful in the populations that I work with. So now, let's come to personal expression and commercial expression. I was talking about the conflict that people usually have, that artists usually face, and that is what creates the, okay, that is what creates, makes the creative block, right? Or the artist block, artistic block. There is a writer's block as well, whatever. All of these things that we call. Has any one of you all faced a creative block or an artistic block? Anybody would like to share their experience, or anytime they face this?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how was it? Why was it? Why did that happen?
Uh, Probably because there is a time where where you can't think through that, what you exactly want to do, or how you want to come up with new ideas, or
Right.
you to face something like that sometimes.
Hmm. Hmm. Correct. Right. Yes, Astha.
Yeah, even I wanted to share something.
Right.
I faced an art block. I used to play guitar, and
Okay.
suddenly I stopped playing it, and I realized that I was feeling very nervous while playing it. So
Hmm.
I like took a break from playing the guitar, and I like started playing after 2 to 3 months, and still it
Hmm.
didn't work, and
Oh, okay.
it was very disappointing at that time. But yeah, I have
Okay.
worked on it, and now like I'm back to playing.
You're back. Okay. That's great. Thanks, Astha. Anyone else? Just one last, maybe. Yes, Shreyoshi.
Yes, ma'am. Even I faced an art blocks one time because I saw a lot of art accounts on Instagram and I was comparing my art
Hmm.
with them. So I had to take a break from doing art.
Right. Wow. That's a good point. Actually, I was going to come. Sorry, Tanvi, ma'am, you were saying something.
Yes, ma'am. So, what Shreyanshi mentioned, I think this is one art block that all the students face.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
reference so much or they see so much of art on social media that they cannot, first is like when you see something, you need time to process it, and then you need to
Right.
time to understand and then execute it. So, too much information can create art block. So generally when I start with the assignment, I tell them do not look for anything on Pinterest, Instagram,
Hmm.
Google,
Hmm.
anything. Sit with your blank sheet of paper. So how can while you continue, can you just share
Sure.
how can we not fall for this kind of visual information, and or if we do, how can we get out of it?
Right. Okay, sure. So, yes, so first we will talk about the creative block. I mean, the thing, why this happens, what are the few reasons it happens, and then we'll talk about how to maybe we can overcome it. So first is the inability to flush out. So like we gave an example of child and childhood. Let's take an example of an old person and old age. Okay. Now, when I say an old person, usually people will draw wrinkles, or people will try and say, talk about wrinkles, a walking stick, spectacles, or anything like that, which is very, very generic for an old person. Okay. And we are so much into those thoughts that we forget to get inside and look at old age as an experience. And that is where we face that block where we cannot think beyond that particular, those few particular characteristics, and that is where we face like a creative block. Then there's rigidity. So for example, everyone has their own style of painting, drawing, whatever. So if a person is drawing in, he has a style of drawing in triangles. Okay, so he's making everything that he can. He's making a person, he's making a building, whatever it is, and he's putting triangles in the middle. That's his style, that's his form. Now when he has to create something which is in motion, which is moving, triangle is a three, I mean, it has three sides, it's a closed kind of structure. Now how will you use it? Of course you'll find a way to use it. So it's not about the solution, but when we get really rigid about what we are doing all the time, this is what I do, this is what I have been taught, this is what I have learned, and this is what I'm going to be doing. And that is when, because you can't think beyond that, you kind of get into a when you're rigid, you kind of face a creative block. Then there is also not knowing when to stop. For example, if I say ki, draw your youth. Okay, I take a piece of paper. So I personally, I will put in things like my my school, my college, then a few classes that I attended, maybe the uh, music class that I attended, and I tried to fit in everything in that one single paper. And then I realized, oh my god, the real thing has not been put out there at all. And that is when I face a block, because I did not know when to stop. I did not know how to contain my ideas. I did not know what exactly to put in there. And that is why I faced a block. And that happens because your self awareness sometimes is, I mean, you're not that self aware. We are not very mindful while doing a lot of things. And we have so much nowadays, it is a trend to kind of be a know it all. Yeah, I know so much, I know everything. And because of that, your real essence, okay, every person is good at one or two things, okay, and they have the ability to be really, really great at that. But instead of working on those things, we try and do everything. Doing everything is great. Being good at a little good at everything is also amazing. There's absolutely no problem about that. But you should know when that expression should also stop, when that know it all, or when that, okay, I know this, I know that, I can do this, I can do that, when that should stop, you all should know it. If you all don't, then we face a creative block. And then there is obviously cognitive limitation. So for example, if I say ki, okay, we have to market a water packaging product. Okay, now you will, or a water bottle maybe. Okay, now water, to depict water, you have splashes, you have drops, you have sea, you have used underwater, you have used rain, you have used everything that's possible, okay, until now. And because the advertisement sector, or basically the marketing sector, it is so huge, and everyone has worked so much in it, and there are crazy creative minds in it. So you feel, because you get bogged down by this, you feel ki are sab to ho gaya hai, everything has been done, now what do I do? And that is when you face, because of your cognitive limitation, you face a creative block. Why does that happen? And like I think Asta said, and like Tanvi ma'am also said, that we we are so used to kind of outsourcing things immediately, ki chalo Pinterest pe dekhta hai, Instagram pe dekhta hai, oh this artist has done this work very well, let's go and see that. And we are so bogged down by all of that, that our expression, when finally it has to come out, it is completely nullified. or it completely dies down basically. And that is what I think the problem is. And social media today plays such an important role, especially in our age. Everything what we learn is from social media, I think. I mean, I guess, people use more of Instagram hashtags than Wikipedia nowadays. I mean, at least I had started doing that a lot. And I think on Instagram there's so much work behind everything that is put on Instagram. I mean, we as normal people, as laymen, we we have basic resources, we have limited resources, but our problem is that we forget that we are like this, we forget our reality, and we try to idealize someone who has unlimited resources, who has resources that we can't even think of. And that is because somewhere you are lacking confidence, you are feeling ki are I'm not good enough. And that is also where we use ABT a lot, where self image, self consciousness, self awareness, all of that comes into picture. Also, I would like to say that in classes, when you're in college, so about a creative block or just a general art, a problem that artists face or any person faces. So maybe there's a topper in a class. In your specialization, you're a topper, you're getting great grades in every single assignment. Then there comes an assignment where you're not that great at. And so there, maybe you can just be ki, "Theek hai yaar, I'm not able to do it. I'm not that great at this. It's okay. This is my self-expression. I will just do it." But what we think is that ki, nahi, I was a topper no itna time. Abhi I'll be a topper again. How can I lose that position? And then I try to do things keeping something very, very high as a norm, or something very unrealistic as a norm. So ABT, the philosophy of ABT is about the ability to be vulnerable. Be vulnerable. It's okay. You can laugh at yourself. You can be stupid. You can be a fool. As long as you're being yourself, you are accepted. And that is also where self acceptance comes into picture, because we are so we are so critical of ourselves nowadays. We are critical of others also, that's another complete story, but we are critical of ourselves also ki shit, I'm ye kam hai, ye zyada hai, whatever it is. And we are doing all of that through social media or through the people that we are seeing outside. I mean, I'm sure all of y'all must be going to some great cafes in Pune. Okay, things like that. I had this inhibition myself also ki whenever I used to go to a cafe, I'm a person who does not really take that much effort in dressing up really well all the time. But there are people who do that amazingly well, which is a good thing. I mean, there's no judgment there, but I cannot do that. Isliye I should not feel left out. I should know myself. Itna awareness I should have ki yaar, I don't like this and I'm okay with it. And then be okay about the other person. But what we tend to do is ki, I don't have time for all this person must be having so much time to do all of this. So basically we are judging not only the other person, we are judging ourselves also. And that is how the negative emotions, negative things start coming into picture. And that is why I feel, like Tanvi ma'am said, ki whenever you get an assignment, whenever you get a project, do not use Pinterest, do not use Instagram. First, just be at your space, be in your own space, and try and test your artistic ability. Also, there are a few things that maybe you can do, like distract yourself. If you're doing an activity and then you have a block, try to do another activity that you enjoy. So most of the time we have this problem ki, what activity should I really do? So this really helps. I have done this myself, ki make a list of a few things that you really, really enjoy doing. Okay, it might be reading a certain book, watching a certain episode of a certain series. It could be anything. So whenever you have a problem, and this could be not only an artistic block, it could be general. If you're facing an issue, if you're really stuck in life, it could be at that times also ki think about and just pick something and start doing it. And maybe distract yourself, do a good activity for some time, and maybe that will help you. Also, physical activity really, really helps. And just getting up, doing some kind of activity, or doing some kind of exercise, or just putting on music and dancing without a care, that also helps. Also going to a place close to nature. That is also great. I mean, going to a garden or where there are plants, where there is a lot of air, that also helps in, and being there by yourself. Udhar jaake don't be on your phones and again look for references ki yahan aake achhi idea milegi. That idea is inside you, and believe that. And that is when you will start kind of getting out of that block. So these are a few things that you can maybe try to get out of the block. If and when I remember anything else, I will let you all know of that as well. Okay, so now let's do an activity. Everyone's camera is on.
Everyone, please be on cameras.
Okay, great. Okay, have you all done this activity? Okay, so your right hand would be on your head and your left hand would be on your chest. Okay, and now you have to tap your head with your right hand and you have to rub your chest with your left hand. Try and do it. Shreyo, she, Isha, I don't know. I'm just taking the names of whoever I can see. Okay, try and do that. See if you all can do it together. How many people are facing difficulty doing it? And how many people are feeling shy of doing it? Okay, Pranjali, are you all able to do it consecutively, or is it confusing? Do it with the other hand.
Everybody, please be on camera, and Soumitra sir, you can also give it a try.
And your right hand on your chest. Yes.
The other hand is difficult, ma'am.
Sorry?
Doing it with another hand was difficult.
Was difficult, right? So an activity like this also, whenever you all face a block maybe, or whenever your brain's not really working, so to just charge up the brain, to give it like a stimulation, you all can do something like this. Basically try and do complex activities, okay, which you all don't usually do. Okay, take a rhythm maybe and try and play it on something which doesn't make a really good sound. Try and make a sound on that. Okay, take a very difficult rhythm, put on music and try to play the rhythm with your hands, doing something like that. Okay, now we'll play a small little game. Okay, so it's called clap and raise. Okay, I'm sure you all must have played it, I don't know. Okay, so when I clap once, you all will put your right hand up. All right, when I clap twice, you all will put your left hand up. Cool? All right. And this first we'll do it a little slowly, easily, and then we'll do it a little fast. Okay. And I do not want you all to be shy. Many of you all are on camera and you all are like, okay, what's happening? Should I do it or not? Everyone's looking at me. I'm
So-
looking like a fool. Be a fool. It's okay.
I think first of all, everybody be on camera. Bhargavi, Karan, Anuja, Megha, Shivani, Samiksha, Shriya. I'm just gonna start calling random names. Everybody just Megha, Nisarga, Sana, Adra. Just quickly be on camera. Gayatri, Riya, Megha, Mansi, Sakshi, Tejaswini, Samruddhi, Shivgami. Everybody quickly be on camera. Quickly. Chalo. Okay. Yes.
Done? Okay. All right. Shall I start? Okay.
Ma'am.
So remember, one clap right, two claps left. Okay. Okay, Tanvi ma'am, both your hands are up. Okay. All right. Now, can we do the opposite? When I say left, you have to do two claps. When I say right, you have to do one clap. Okay, works? All right. Left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left. Oh, great. I think most of y'all are able to do it. I think your brains are stimulated now. Y'all are active now. All right, cool, great. So activities like this was just an example for you. There are many activities you can find on the internet. So instead of looking for other people to compare yourself to and feel bad about, you all can search for these activities maybe the next time to kind of stimulate your brain a little. Okay. Okay, so now let's talk a little about ABT, understanding different mediums. Okay, so whatever I said, the rhythm, visual arts, movement, drama, let's see what all it helps in. Okay, so I'll just give you an example of the work that I am currently doing. So I work with Schizophrenia Awareness Association, where I take dance movement therapy for them. Uh, so have you all heard about schizophrenia? What happens in schizophrenia? Anyone, just one or two people who can just quickly, so that I know what you all know. I can't see everyone, so don't put your hand up, just speak when, if you have an
Uh,
answer. Yes.
Maybe one of the symptom is hallucination.
Right. Correct. Anyone else? Just a simple. Okay, so it is basically depersonalization. We do not understand what we are really experiencing. There is a distance, there is a gap from reality that a person faces when he has schizophrenia. Okay, the symptoms can be delusions. Delusions is a fear of is a fear that something which is not really happening is happening. Okay, there are hallucinations where you can see people, where you can hear different sounds. There are different kinds of hallucinations. They do not have they're not in touch with reality. They do not have a sense of their own body, of their own image, of their self awareness, self um, confidence, self image is very, very low. Okay, so these are the few things that schizophrenia, that I can tell you the most simple symptoms of schizophrenia are. Okay, so when I work with them, when I take dance movement therapy, I not only use, so in ABT we never use just one form कि okay चलो आज visual arts करते हैं, yeah today let's do movement only. It is always a mix of everything. Okay, so it is a mix of visual arts, dance, it movement, music. We use all the forms to do therapy. Okay, so rhythm, what does rhythm help in? It helps in motor coordination. Okay, there are children, there are I work a lot with children as well. So there are some children who cannot who cannot walk properly, okay, or who have less motor coordination. What we do is, when we use rhythm, we take a djembe. Okay, I take a djembe, I ask him also to use a djembe, or maybe he's not. Okay, I start playing a rhythm and I tell him to walk on the rhythm. Okay, so maybe if he's just walking, say, he's taking 1 2 and then 1 2 3, 1 1 2, he's taking these steps. I try to tell him ki, okay, 1 1 1 1, and then I ask him to walk in that rhythm. Our body rhythm is the only thing that our body catches really quickly. I mean, you don't have to make an effort for that, right? I mean, when you play any kind of music, you must have you must have noticed that you kind of start moving to it, you start grooving to it, or tapping your fingers, tapping your toes, and that happens most naturally. That is something that nobody ever teaches us. It's almost like breathing, right? I mean, it is, and our breathing is also a rhythm. So a person usually catches that rhythm quickly. And when I take so if there is a person who can't walk properly and I teach him, I have seen, and I have seen great results with rhythm, that people can start walking properly after certain sessions. And it is amazing to see how much rhythm can play a role. And that is why whenever you are stressed out, also you use music. Okay, also consciousness alteration, some people are in their own different world. So that time when we use different music, so maybe there is a soothing music, okay, that can help. If there is a very, very aggressive person, use soothing music. If there is a person who is absolutely not saying anything, he's very quiet, that time use some groovy nice music where a person wants to, feels like moving. Okay, that is how we use rhythm and music. Then there's visual arts. Okay, visual arts is not only for personal expression, it is also for tactile awareness. A lot of people in psycho in psychology, a lot of people, we get clients who do not have sensory who do not have senses. Their senses are very low. They cannot, motor coordination is low. they cannot hold a pencil, they cannot hold anything, they do not understand the difference between different textures. And that is where visual arts come into play, where we use different mediums. Okay, so for a person with autism, okay, there is an autism spectrum disorder in which there is social communication is very very low, along with uh, just basic coordination is really low, and there is a lot of sensory, what do you say, overload. Okay, so that time what we do is we kind of, so if a autistic child has put up a tantrum, okay, he's crying, he's screaming, what we do is we will take a blanket, okay, the godhadi that we say, which has a very different and harsh texture, harsh and soft at the same time, and we go and put it around him. Okay, or if we want to teach that person something, we will tell him to fold towels, we will ask him to kind of separate pebbles from the sand, ask him to separate forks from spoons. Anything that stimulates or creates a tactile awareness, we use that. Then there is movement. Okay, so fine motor skills, balance, people cannot balance a lot as well. All these clients who are facing, many clients who are facing some of any of the disorders, they cannot balance. So using movement, so we use sculpting as well. So in sculpting, it is not the sculptures that we make out of clay, it is just body sculptures. Okay, so we can just stand and make a sculpture of ourselves. We ask them to do it in pairs, okay, where one person tells them ki, okay, you have to be a kettle now, and he will help that person be a kettle. And I will all of this I will show you. There was a group that I worked with, and all of these things you will just get a gist of it after. In the end, I will just show you that quick video. Okay, so these are all the different mediums that we use in ABT. Okay, now philosophy of ABT. Ma'am, how much time do we have left?
Ma'am, we have enough time, so I think you can continue.
Okay, okay, all right. So, yes, so the philosophy of ABT is basically we are all work in progress. Okay, there is absolutely no judgment in ABT. A person can be vulnerable, a person can be a fool, and yet be liked, yet be loved. Okay, so whenever we go for a session, okay, I'll just give you a quick briefing of how a session, ABT session usually is. So I have a few clients. Okay, they have certain concerns that we only test, we assess ki kya kya concerns unko ho sakte hain. Based on that, we decide our therapeutic goals. Okay, we have these therapeutic goals in our mind already. For example, there is a person who does not like to who is not hygienic. Okay, a very simple but a very important, it's a virtue, right? It's how you are. And when a person faces mental disorders or experiences issues emotionally and mentally, a lot is hygiene is affected, grooming is affected. So if I want to make him understand ki you should take a bath every day, baba, okay, or you should comb your hair or clean yourself, I will never go in that session and say ki, okay, today's session's goal is to be clean, or is to start taking a bath, or is to start taking care of yourself. It's never like that. It's through the activities, it's through different mediums that I will encourage them. I will make them feel that they need to take a bath. And there are experiences where such things, where we have worked consistently with different mediums. This can be done through drama. Give them maybe give them a Cinderella story, ask them to enact it. Okay, when they start being like Cinderella, okay, you make that person who has a hygiene problem, tell him ki you are Cinderella in this play. Okay, when that person takes time to kind of sit there and think, okay, I am Cinderella, now let's groom myself as Cinderella. That is how there is a shift. Okay, that is how where people will feel ki, "Arey shit, I'm not like this at all. I have to groom myself so much to look like Cinderella." And that is how, using this is a very very small and basic example, but this is how we kind of motivate them to get a change in themselves. Okay, then don't run the art, let the art run you. Okay, I mean, we have so much what do you say, we are so used to being in control of everything, of our emotions, of our behavior. It's good also, sometimes in social settings it's of course necessary, but in sometimes where where you are allowed to be yourself, where you're expressing yourself, you should not run the art. You should let go of that control for some time. Okay, and that is what we do in ABT sessions as well. Ki when we go, we never tell them that if there is a group of 5 people, one person is like, today I don't want to do the session. Immediately my impulse will be ki, Arey, mera session, he's not coming. No, I have to make him come here in the session. But no, it's all right. It's fine. Let him be there. You do things, you take part in the activities that that person will feel like coming. That is a skill as an ABT practitioner. Okay, so we never give instructions, we never force anything. It is as naturally as it can be. And that is why ABT is so helpful, because people can just be themselves and yet feel that there is a shift. Then there is healing is a bodily and mindful experience. It is not a cognitive experience. Okay, so we are constantly thinking about our emotions and feelings. We try to verbalize them, which is great. Okay, but just once we verbalize it, once we realize, we have self-awareness ki, okay, this is my concern, this is my problem, this is my trauma, this is my baggage. It is okay to not think about it all the time. In ABT, we believe that when we constantly say, ki, you know what, I have anxiety, you know what, anxiety, okay, I do this, I do that. When I do that, you're basically reinforcing it in your mind and telling your mind constantly, ki, hello, you're doing this, hello, you're doing that. When you don't do this, when you just let your body heal, let your body and mind do the work, you're telling your mind and body that I have the confidence in you, ki you are able to heal. That is why after every ABT session and every activity, what we do is ki we give ourselves a big hug. That is like that is compulsory. There is no thing as compulsory in ABT, but fir bhi we do try and give ourselves a nice little hug. In every small activity, what this does is, it's a very stupid kind of a thing, maybe it might seem stupid, but the philosophy behind it is that when we hug ourselves, we are telling ourselves ki, oh, you did a good job, yeah, and you were good today. So your body and mind tell you. So basically psychology or our behavior is all about that, right? That there's a conversation happening between our mind all the time, between our mind and ourselves all the time, and that conversation should be good. So when we keep telling our mind ki, you have this problem, see what a drawing you made, see you use these colors, what a stupid person are you, when you say this, your mind starts believing it. But when you give yourself a nice little hug after every small activity and tell him ki, great job, your mind starts understanding and realizing ki, oh, I am capable of doing a good job, and that is where the healing starts. And then there is impermanence. Okay, so basically impermanence, that's a very big philosophy. It's a huge word, but to say to explain it in short, it is knowing that things are going to change. Nothing is permanent. Everything is going to change. Everything is going to proceed. Whatever, there is going to be a shift. Okay, so for example, why it is so important in ABT is, when a person comes to me, maybe a client with a disability. Okay, a disability like, I don't know, something that cannot be treated. Okay, if I believe कि नहीं ये treat ही नहीं हो सकता, इसका कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता, I'm not going to put in that much effort to help him or to get uh, to heal him. Okay, but if I say कि nahi yaar, if I believe in impermanence, if I keep that as a foundation and I say ki, okay, you know what, it is going to change, there is some progress going to happen, I'm going to see that, then I am motivated to kind of change it or to work on that. And that is why impermanence is really, really important. And non-duality is one very important thing, ki there is no beautiful, ugly, pure, impure, nice and bad, good or bad. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं. We don't do all of this in ABT at all. Everything is just what it is. So whenever a person or a child or a client comes to me with their artwork and shows me, ki, ma'am, this is the artwork, I never say, ki, Arey, wow, 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 very nice. I'll try and ask him, ki, okay, why this? Why that? So it's not about validation in ABT. It is about understanding yourself better and being more self-aware. And that is, I think, for artists also, this is very, very important. Ki, we always have this personal expression and external validation wala conflict. So to kind of know ki, theek hai, this is me, and accept that. And everything doesn't have to be good or bad or nice or beautiful. And just accepting ki, this is what I have done. That is very important. So this is the philosophy of ABT. Also, I would, in a, just to conclude what ABT is, there is a story called as the myth of Sisyphus, if you all have heard of that. Okay, so this is, I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night. Um, this is something that I really, really, I like this thought a lot, because it just says that whatever our fears are, whatever our traumas, baggages are, if we are constantly held on to it, we are always going to be fearful. But when we let go of it, when we start accepting it, when there is acceptance, we start to grow so fond of it that we forget to be fearful of the night that everyone is so scared of. So we forget to start. We stop associating darkness, bad things happening, crimes happening, happening to night, and we just are looking at the things as they are. So being just very, very objective to it, ki, this is there, this is beautiful, accept it and start loving it. That's it. Okay, so the myth of Sisyphus is the last thing that I want to say. Myth of Sisyphus is a story where Sisyphus, you all can read about it, but he was a so he was punished by the gods. So his punishment was that he had to carry a huge rock on the mountain. Okay, he had to put it on the peak of the mountain, but he could not do it, right? Because every time he used to put it up, it used to come falling down. Okay, every time he tried to roll it up, it came rolling back down. And um, so why I relate ABT to this, why I chose this story was that because that is how ABT works. Keep understand your limitations, accept your failures as much as you accept your achievements. Okay, know that ये नहीं है possible, accept कि this is ये हो ही नहीं रहा है मेरे से, and then find a way, because you believe in impermanence, because you know this can change, then you try and find different ways, and that is how you use your creative expression to find different ways. And this, if I have to say, is the gist of ABT. Okay, so yeah, so this was about the philosophy, this was about ABT. I think as artists also, whatever I have, the philosophy also must be resonating with you. You all can use a lot of this in your work as well. Okay, so there is a closure activity that I would like to do with you guys. Okay, can you all take a paper and colors or pencil, whatever it is, anything. So this is an activity that we do with our clients. I will not be able to assess everyone's activity, of course. I will just, it's like a takeaway for you, ki this is what ABT is. Once you all are done, just give me a thumbs up if you all have your paper and your pens and colors together. Okay, just be ready. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, meanwhile, if anybody has any questions, just keep them ready, or you can type in the chat box. We are already reaching towards the end, but the session is too good to end actually. So, if anybody has any questions, just keep it ready, frame it in your head, or you can just send in the chat box. Okay, ma'am is just, I think she's facing some technical error, so she'll just be back. Meanwhile, anybody, if you have any questions, please type it in the chat box.
Uh, Tanvi ma'am, have you disabled the video starting for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, you need to enable my video. You have blocked it, I think.
No, ma'am. I'll just check. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So everyone's ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, great. If you all have colors, amazing. If you all don't, a pencil would also work, pencil or pen, whatever. Okay. So now what you have to do is just quickly draw like a map of your body on the paper. Just very quickly. Tanvi ma'am, I'll take your cue and start. Once you're done, I'll start because
I'm
it's
done. I'm done.
okay. So I hope everyone else
I'm
is
done.
also. Okay. So now once you all are done with the body map, once you all have drawn the map, now I will be playing the music. Okay. I will also be instructing you. So what we have to do is we have to start from our toes. Okay. Our feet basically. Now just try and be calm without any distractions. Be in the most comfortable position you are in. Okay. Where you can feel each and every part of your body. Okay. Once I start, I will be telling you all to concentrate on your toes. For example, if I say, what you have to do is think about the sensation in your feet. Okay. Close your eyes maybe and just experience the sensation that you are feeling right now in your feet. And with your colors, choose a color and color your feet. Okay. You can maybe just put a dot, put a line, could be anything, or just do the outline of your feet. Just put in that experience that you're feeling right now on your paper, on that part. Everyone got it? A thumbs up would be great. Cool. Okay. So once I start the music, we will be doing that. Okay. All right. So let's start. Just close your eyes for just maybe 10-20 seconds. Also, while you're doing the activity, do not think about how beautiful it is looking. No one's here to judge what beautiful colors you've used. It's just anything that you feel right now. Just be quiet. Now let's go to your toes, your feet. Experience what you're feeling in your feet right now. Choose a color of your choice or shade it according to what you feel. Once you're done with your feet, let's go to your calves. Do the same with your calves as well. Now your knees. Your thighs. Okay, now your private parts maybe. Now your stomach.
Om Tare Tu Tare Ore Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ore Soha.
Now your chest,
Om Tare Tu Tare Ore Soha. Om Tare Tu
your
Tare
hands,
Ore Soha.
just your arms,
Om Tare Tu Tare Ore Soha.
your fingers, your palm,
Om Tare Tu Tare Ore Soha.
your neck, now your face. Take it part by part or just your entire face, anything that works for you.
Om Tare Tu Tare Ore
And now your head.
Om Tare Tu Tare Ore Soha. Om Tare Tu
Once you all are done, just
Tare
put in a thumbs up. Once everyone's done, we'll stop.
Om Tare Tu Tare Ore Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ore Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare
Okay, just last 10 seconds maybe.
Om Tare Tu Tare Ore Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ore Soha.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is an activity that we do where we kind of assess where a person is feeling what. Many a times, if a person is feeling pain in a certain area, they will color it with really dark colors. You all know the color scheme better than I do, so or the meaning of colors better than I do. So use that knowledge. Maybe now look at your body map. See what all you all have done. I hope you all have done it in the most honest way possible. But even if you're whatever it is, your body can't lie after a certain after a certain stage. So even if you all have done it in real boredom, it's going to be a little true at least. Okay, so this is for you to take away and analyze yourself. Okay, and sometimes I have also seen this, that when you face a lot of, you're feeling really really restless, but you're not understanding where the real pain is, or you're not able to spot the pain. When we do body map exercises, a lot of times this thing comes out also. We are able to see ki, oh okay, this is your problem. Yeah, things like so this has been very very helpful in sexual disorders that we face. A lot of people, they'll color their genital area really dark, or they'll do something, they just cross it, and we realize, okay, this is something that we have to work on. Okay, so things that we are not able to express, we find through this body map. Okay, so just analyze your body map whenever you can. Don't be critical, please keep that in mind कि oh shit, I have colored this red, मतलब यहाँ problem होगा ही, ऐसा नहीं है. It maybe your mood right now is like that. Okay, or whatever, just keep an open mind while you're analyzing it. So this was one exercise that I wanted to do with y'all. And now some takeaway exercises. I will not be doing it. I will be just telling you in short. I think my time's up. But yeah, so okay. So an altar, okay. Um, Basically it is creating. So it is not something religious. It is a very spiritual kind of exercise where we create an altar of things that give us support, that make us feel loved. We basically create a safe space that we can constantly keep going back to. Okay, so like you'll see in my video after this that a lot of altars are created, children. So I used to work with the children of commercial sex workers. So for them, a safe place is not possible at all. They don't have it. Okay, so creating an altar has given them so much confidence, has made them feel so safe, where they just make things which they remember from their childhood, or they remember of their mother, or anything which has made them feel good, and they keep it all in one place. They put they'll put agarbatti, they'll put flowers on that every time, but that will be like a safe space, and having that is very important for every one of us. Looking at it, we will feel gratitude, and just knowing ki, okay, we have so much love and support around us, it really helps us. Then there is draw yourself at the center. Okay, make a small image of yourself at the center and draw, surround yourself with symbols, okay, of strength, love, support. Okay, it could be very small things like just one maybe comfort food, which gives you so much love, which makes you feel love. So kind of draw that sometimes. This, all these activities, don't do it very consciously. Just sometimes take a piece of paper, sit down, and quickly just start doing it. And then you'll realize ki, Arey, this thing that I never thought about, I'm never grateful about, but this thing gives me so much strength. And then sometimes you can identify a lot of things around you that you have not seen in that way before. Then there's gratitude, like I said. Also doodling and scribbling. Also for the mental block, for a creative block, there is one more activity that you all can do. It is called as free writing or free creating. Okay, so if you all are painting and you all cannot paint after a certain point, take another sheet of paper, take your paintbrush, take your pencil, whatever it is, and start coloring, painting. You put a timer for 3 minutes or 4 minutes, whatever it is, and start painting. Do not get your brush out of the paper at all for those 4 minutes, and just do whatever it takes. Whatever is coming to your mind, that really helps. If you're writing, if you have a writer's block, just keep writing whatever's coming to your mind. A lot of times when you look at it, look at the drawing again, you suddenly realize ki, Arey, this was there, because that is in your subconscious. The things that are hidden in your subconscious, you want that outside, right, for expression. So that comes out at those times. Then there is doodling and scribbling. Doodling, you all obviously must be doing. Scribbling, for that I would say, rather than scribbling with your hands or doodling with your hands, sometimes do it with other parts of your body. Put the pencil inside, within your toes, and then between your toes, and start drawing. Put it in your mouth and start drawing. Using different parts of our body, we are very used to this, ki when we are talking, use only our mouth and our brain. When we are drawing, only use our hands and brain. But the other rest of the parts of the other parts of the body are always static. So when we use them, our brain also gets a signal ki, hello, wake up, you have so much more to offer. And that is when something really beautiful also comes out at times. Okay, and one activity that I would tell the teachers also, that if you all you all can do, or you all can ask your students to do, is also talking gibberish at times when something is going really monotonous or is boring. Ask them to talk in any language. We are so used to, abhi to it's come to grammar also, ki grammar bhi sahi hona chahiye, itna cognition hai. But sometimes just talking gibberish and talking with expression to each other, you all can do this activity with in your class, with anybody. Ki just doing what, anything, and doing that with expression and trying to understand that. It's a really beautiful activity for sensory stimulation, of course, to keep your cognition aside, to leave your inhibitions also. And this also helps in just being our true self sometimes. Okay, so these are some of the activities that I feel y'all can maybe try out. Okay, Tanvi ma'am, I'll just show the video. It's a long video. I'll just fast forward it so that they can just see glimpses of what I've done and what ABT is about. This is the same video that it's kind of a film. Okay, it's not very creative. Please do not judge me. It is what I could do in my capacity. It is just like a journey that I did. I made with these girls who, like I said, were children of commercial sex workers. I worked with them in an NGO called Eklavya, and I worked with them for a year. And whatever is in the video is all created by us, the facilitator and the children. Okay, so 1 second. Okay.
Through this video. All the music used in the video has been created by the participants and the facilitator during ABT sessions. The house tree person test and the lifeline topography were assessments used to understand the nature and personality of the children. They were also used to identify
Okay, so just
any
to give a
emotional
short
conflicts that they
HTP
were
introduction,
facing.
it's a test we use in psychology to understand the personalities, to try and get a deeper insight about personalities. So, for example, when people draw houses, they draw a door without any latch. That shows that they allow anybody inside. They are really, really open, or sometimes they need to they do not have any limitations or boundaries. Then there are some people who they make a man or make a person and they have really pointed nails. It shows an aggressive trait that maybe sometimes we cannot see. So things like this we try and assess through this test. This is the lifeline topography test, in which we ask them to, you all can do this as well later on whenever, put on some music, uh, think quietly, be calm, and start imagining your life right from childhood till today. And this topography that you can see, just start making it without thinking ki, okay ye niche hai upar hai, just make it. So many times you kind of start identifying ki are is, in this phase I had a problem, in this phase I had some issues that I need to work with or work on. And such things come forth when we do these kind of activities. So this is a lifeline topography test.
बावरा में बावरा एक साथ हूँ इससे.
So these are sculpting activities where they work with each other. We pair people who are not very fond of each other and ask them to do the activities together. And they're very simple activities. Now this one is making a sculpture. So in this motor coordination, balance, sometimes people are very rough with each other. So that time you realize what self-awareness, space awareness, kind of creating boundaries, not going too close. Some people do not have that sense ki isko ye part you should not touch. So at those times in these activities, they start realizing, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do or not do. This is just drama, where they're enacting certain scenes from movies, maybe, or stories. These are the altars that they created by themselves. They're safe spaces. Also, for when you all are in teams, or when you all want to work in groups and that's not working really well, you all can do a very fun activity like this, where you all decide that you have to be maybe a palki, maybe, for example, and then you all have to make a palki by yourselves, or you all can make letters, decide a name, say for example Tanvi, and if you all are 5-6 people, from with your help of your body, make the name Tanvi. Okay, that helps in motor coordination, that helps in stimulating your senses and also cognition as well.
Ma'am, we are sorry to interrupt you, but we are a little ahead
Yes,
of
yes,
the
yes, yes.
time. Sorry.
Okay. No, no, no. I was just going to say it myself. All right. These
No,
are
that's okay.
these are just storytelling. It's just getting over. Just a minute.
Ma'am, I quickly have one question now that we
Okay.
don't have
Okay.
time for much of the question and
Hmm.
answers out. I think this video can keep playing. Okay, so
Okay.
I wanted to ask that when we do such kind of exercises, it kind of helps us to, be aware of our mind, of our thinking, of what we are feeling, and of our entire body parts. Because normally, I think we are just like, yeah, thinking, I'm using my brain, I'm looking, so I'm using my face maybe, and then I'm writing. So sometimes it's like I don't know what my feet are doing or what they're supposed to do. So
Right.
is this a very important part, like, to be self-aware of yourself? Is this a very important part to, you know, be as an artist? Like, or, tomorrow if you want to go for the interview, are you should be working on this entire body and brain coordination kind of thing. So
Hmm. Okay. So see, being self-aware is of course very important. So basically, like I said, we have to follow certain norms, right? We can't always just be ourselves. Ki being ourselves and intruding or trespassing someone else's space there is a line between that, and that balance we have to strike, right? And self awareness doesn't only mean ki okay, self awareness, who I am amazing, I am great, I am beautiful, let's do it, let's show it to the world. It's not like that. It's about accepting this as well, accepting the reality basically. Ki this is what I am, this is what the situation is, this is what I can do in this situation, and if I can't do this, that does not mean I'm sabotaging my image or identity. It's okay accepting it. So basically not uh, getting bored, or you should not be harmed or hurt by it. You should not end up feeling ki, in this situation मैं ऐसा नहीं कर पाई, shit abhi I'm not myself, again I have to work on it, or this is bad. Basically like तुम्हाला त्रास नाही झाला पाहिजे त्याचा. So तुम्हाला जेव्हा त्रास नाही होणार, when you accept yourself and you
So
accept
we
the
should not
reality,
be
that is when it's good.
affected by the external factors, or what we
Right.
feel from the inside also most of the time. So I think this was a very enlightening session for all of the students, and they have done, like, I think they will be sharing whatever the body map exercises that they have done on the WhatsApp or whatever. And we would personally love to invite you again physically, that you come here and take these sessions for faculty, students, only for faculty, only for students combined together. So thank you so much, Nikita, for, this is an entire new world. When you say therapy, people are often scared. But when you have this kind of mediums, I think it always helps, and it is self-awareing. And thank you so much.
Thank
Dr. Shruti ma'am is also here. I want to invite her to say a few words. I know she's been listening very keenly, but she was not on camera because of the work that was going on. But Dr. Shruti ma'am, please, if you can, say a few words before we come to the end of the session.
What I want to say is that it was the best session that I saw. I'll tell
Thank
you
you.
why. And I started with gibberish because you and I said, let me de-stress and let everybody also de-stress.
Right.
So essentially, why I like the session is because you just gave everything that you know. It's not that you showed us a part, but you told us of so many different techniques that we can use. The students can use themselves, we can use ourselves as faculty, and I mean, definitely self, I'll say, explore in de-stressing ourselves, in having a better health. And I think it's a great beginning for anybody who is trying to dabble into this part of the subject. So thank you so much on behalf of my
Thank you.
entire MIT family, our leadership, and all the students. Thank you for coming and doing this session.
Thank you so
with
much,
us.
ma'am.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shruti ma'am. So, thank you so much, Nikita Kadolkar, for coming today and being a part of MIT School of Visual Arts for the first SAMVAAD that we have done for this trimester. I thank you on behalf of Dr. Shruti Nigurkar, who is our HOS for School of Visual Arts, who supported us every single day with every ideas that we have. And all of the things that we do along with the students is only possible because of her constant support from the founder members, like Dr. Vishwanath Karad and Sri Rahul Karad. So they always have their support directly, indirectly to everything that we have done. Thanks to all the faculties for being here, being present every day, and thanks from the bottom of my heart to all the students who have been so interactive, so passionate about what they're doing. And I hope that this continues. And once again, thank you, Nikita, for coming today and doing this
you.
session. I know you were a little nervous, but I told you that when we start interacting, the time flies, and it flew
Right.
very nicely. And last but not the least, and Thank you, Shruti ma'am, again for the gibberish talk that shows, it is all inclusive, and this is how we do at School of Visual Arts. So thank you so much, everyone. And I would like to ask technical team to play our Pasaidan to conclude today's session. Thank you so much.
आता विश्वात्मके देवे येने वाग्यज्ञे तोषावे तोषोनि मज द्यावे पसाय दान जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रतिवाढ भूता परस्परे पडो मैत्र जीवांचे दुरिताचे तिमिर जा विश्वस्वधर्म सूर्ये पाहो जो देवांशील तो तेला हो प्राणी जात वर्षत सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदियाळी अनवरत भूमंडळी भेट तू भूता चला कल्पतरूंचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणीचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पियुषाचे चंद्रमे जे अलांछन मार्तंड देता बहीण ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोय रे हो तू किंबहुना सर्व सुखी पूर्ण होनिसिही लोकी भजिजो आदि पुरुषी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीविये विशेषी लोकीये दृष्टादृष्ट विजये हो आवे जी येथ म्हणे श्री विश्वेश्वराव हा होईल दान पसावो येणे वरे ज्ञान देवो सुखिया झाला.
Thank you so much, technical team. So here I conclude today's first Kala Samvad of this very trimester. And thank you everybody for coming. Thank you Nikita ma'am for being here. Thank you Soumitra sir for being constant support. And thank you students. There is one quick announcement for all the students who are present now, that we have another Kala Samvad tomorrow by the graffiti artist, illustrator Arpit Vyas. So that will be tomorrow 3:30 to 4:30, same timing. So I wish for full attendance and same enthusiasm tomorrow as well. So have a good day, take care, and bye.